Okay. Hi, this is Moogs and welcome to today's episode of Should I Buy This? Today we're looking at Foundation, which is in early access as of the 2nd of the 2nd this year. It was funded entirely with Kickstarter. They reached their goal, they've gone well over their goal, and they've promised that all the money will go back into the game. I've just started a new map on the hills terrain to kind of give you a bit of a rough idea of how this works. I seem to do a lot of these. This is a simulation management type game. It's described by the developers as a gridless, sprawling, medieval city building sim with heavy focus on organic development and monument creation. I have not played a lot of this personally. I've played a little bit, and so far that does seem fairly accurate. First thing you have to do is build a village centre. That makes sense. The next thing you have to do, which is where it starts getting confusing because I'm an idiot, is you have to build a lumber camp and a stonecutter camp. And to do that, you need to move all of your dudes from being unemployed to having some kind of job. So I've turned them into builders, which means all they will do is build. I am loving, just by the way, these little portraits that they have for each one of these people. Love it. Anyway, shows you their happiness, blah blah blah. Then you also have this, which is your zoning. So this is where you mark these trees we can destroy. I think kind of like a council maybe. So these trees we can take out, those berries we can pick, the stone, take that. And then forbidden land is, don't even touch that, that's mine, just stay away. Fairly straightforward. So we've built this lumber camp, so now we need to assign a villager. And you can just do that, or you can click on them individually and give them an individual job, and it's a bit of a pain. But it makes sense. None of it is particularly crazy out there. It all is fairly straightforward. Gathering hut. That's where you put your berries that you've just gathered, so I'll build it next to the berries. Where I got confused was when the residential zoning starts coming in. Because they build their own houses, and I didn't know that. It just kept telling me that they were unhappy because there wasn't enough land for housing. But there was no houses on my land, so I was trying to figure out how to build houses. Where am I supposed to put them? Is there a thing? Am I meant to unlock them? What am I meant to do? No, you need to zone an area as residential and they will build their own houses. And by that I mean they will choose the land, and then the builder will have to come and actually build the house for them. Once you figured that out, it's fairly straightforward, except that if you're a bit anal, they will not necessarily build their houses in nice, tidy, straight lines. They're going to kind of just plonk them all over the place a bit willy-nilly, which I found a little bit upsetting because in these types of games I really just going to assign some dudes here. I really do prefer to have kind of neat lines. If you've ever watched me play Anno on Twitch, it's all very much squares and neat. I like it to be neat. So we're just waiting for the builder to come and finish this. And meanwhile, okay, so that's how we get the basic wood. Then we need to turn it into planks. I suppose I should build a well for my people also. And later on we need to turn the rough stone into polished stone. Fairly straightforward, very standard for having a production chain like that in the real world. You can prioritize buildings and unprioritize buildings and all that stuff. It's all kind of what you expect. I'm going to speed it up slightly because I've done this part before. I've muddled through this. Okay, so I've just skipped forward a bit. So I've got all my people, most of my people, these lazy people aren't doing anything. Most of my people working. Now's when I need to start putting in stuff for them. So they've requested a market. So I've got to choose food stall. and I place the food stall, and then I press start construction. Then someone will eventually go and build that. Like I said, this is alpha, as it clearly states in the bottom corner there. It is on Steam. It is currently $38.65. It is 10% off. It's developed and published by Polymorph Games. They're in Canada, so good work, Canada. And it's the only game that they have developed, published, or created. The reviews on Steam are mostly very positive, and I can see why. I really like the aesthetic. It's fairly pretty. You don't want it to be too detailed because you want it to run as smoothly as possible. I'm not sure if my fat head's in the way, but we're running at about 75 FPS at the moment, which is a pretty good frame rate, I feel. So now I've built this market stall, which is what they wanted me to do. So I need to assign someone to tend the market. So assign... Oh, I don't have any available villages. Okay, so you're going to stop being a thing. I do feel that I would like to start with more villages because you just... There's not enough of them. I've got a lot of things I need done and there's not enough of them doing it. I've got water. What else do they need? Oh, yeah, right. Right-clicking gets rid of an extraction area. Which is also how you get rid of the menus and things, so it's a bit confusing. And now I've got to sell resources in the market, so I've got to... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. That. Sell some berries. Done! I got 100 gold for that. And now I need to unlock a trade route. So, to do that, build this silly warehouse. The king sometimes talks to you, he wants you to do stuff, so you do stuff. This is what I meant about residential. So you zone this whole area for residential, and they will start, as you can see this little lady here, they will start putting up their own little houses. Fantastic. Then we start getting into the more complicated stuff. So they also want a church. Now I made a mistake last time and I built this way too close to my town. But you have to build the core building like that. Then you have to build a tower. And you hold control to move things around. Oh. Left click and drag on green vertical. I like that. Is anyone else having flashbacks to when Total Biscuit played Sims? Beautiful. Look at that. And then you've got to build a door of some kind. Ah, that's perfect. It's going to cost a lot of stone to build that because I made the stupid tower so big. There, start construction. They want a church. One villager lacks space for housing. They do build quite big houses. It is a slight issue I have because all I have is this one stupid little tile at the moment. I suppose that doesn't really need to be forbidden land. It's just... There we go. Get rid of that. Except I want that tree. That will be my tree. And still not enough space for this one resident to have a stupid house. So let's just... There you go. There you go. Is that enough? Yes, okay. So I need to build this thing, which means I need a sawmill. Because I need to turn the wood into planks to build the warehouse. Blah blah. As you can see, it all goes in a very specific kind of process. It's very, very straightforward. Foresters replant the forest, etc., etc. It is quite enjoyable. I haven't got to the really hard stuff yet. I probably will skip forward a little bit, or maybe show you my other town that I'm a bit further in, so you get a rough idea of kind of how it starts looking. My other town is a lot more messy, so forgive me for that. Let me just swap over. Okay, welcome back. Here is my other town. I've planted some decorative shrubs. As you can see, what I was saying about the houses, they are just slap bang wherever. I don't know if my face... Oh no, my face is not in the way. I have this quest here, which says I have to deliver 30 berries to Hammer, whatever that is. I looked up how to do it, and I have to have 30 berries in here apparently to be able to do it. So I don't have 30 berries in there at the moment. I've got 3 people picking berries, so it's not like I've got no one picking them. So I'm not sure. I haven't been able to complete that yet. I haven't reached 30. This is a wheat farm. You can plant more crops. I chose a different map type for this one. It's probably a little bit extreme, really, isn't it? So this one's got little rivers and things. I have to build bridges to get to them, because I have taken over part of this island for some reason, and I've got a little bit more space under my belt, but I have a lot less money here because I have unwisely spent it. I have no one to blame for that but me. And I have unlocked a few more things. This is my church, before I realized that you could make things bigger and smaller. This is what your warehouse looks like. So like I said, it's all pretty straightforward. There's nothing particularly, so far, there's nothing particularly out there. It is a little bit more in-depth than other games in the sense, I suppose it's kind of think like Anno, in the sense that you need the wheat farm, then you need the windmill, then you need the bakery. So you need those 3 things to make bread. I don't have enough gold to build the other 2 things, so I can't show you what they would look like, but you get what I mean. I also can't afford to build a sheep farm, so I'm not sure how I'm meant to get more gold. I'm not sure if, once again, if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm dumb, so it's very possible that there's a very simple thing and I'm just a moron. But I'm assuming you get most of the gold through trading, which, as of yet, I also wasted on buying bushes and archers, which, as of yet, I haven't really made that much money on. And then I've got 2 more villagers that joined my village. Do I have enough residential land for them? I hope so. Okay, they don't really want to live down here. They want to... Did you ever play Black and White? They want to live on the tops of the hills. That's where, so far, from what I've gathered, that's where they seem to want their houses to be, is kind of on the highland. Which I get. And they want it to be close to the town centre, and they want it to be close to their work, and all those things. Very normal. Okay, so now I can complete this quest, and I got plus 10 axe. Hammer? Labour. I don't know what that does. I'm sure it'll become clear as the game kind of develops further and moves more into the release stage as opposed to the alpha stage, or even maybe the beta stage. Maybe that will explain it all a bit more to me. But so far, I'm greatly enjoying this game. I will continue playing it. It's in-depth, it's fun. I think it's going to be hard. From what I've read, it's not too hard once you've already got your established city with walls and all those things. But until you get to that point, it is reasonably tricky just to manage this many people that all need to have stuff. I can't seem to build another village centre, which, while that makes sense, is kind of a bit crappy because I'd like to build one over here so that people might live over here. I need to build, I think it's in here. Nope. I can build a wooden bridge. I don't know how. But yeah, so there's a lot of options and there's a lot of stuff you can do. The trade menu is pretty intense. You've got a lot of different things you can do in there so that you can have... I can't make bread at the moment, so I can buy bread. If I look at the neighbouring cities, you can see what they're selling things for and what they want things for. The territories shows you, think civilization, the little hexagons. You can build walls. Well, I haven't unlocked it yet. I'm not far enough, but it is a thing. You can look at your budget. It's quite in depth, and I'm losing a lot of money. Gotta keep them happy or they leave. All those kinds of things. Riots. I'm not sure if riots are actually a thing. Don't quote me on that. But it tells you why they're unhappy. So you have to manage their happiness. You have to keep them working. You've got to keep them happy. You've got to keep them functioning and doing stuff for you. Very similar to Anno and games like that. I'm enjoying it. I think it's worth it, considering this is alpha. So I'm really interested to see where it's going to go and what it's going to become, because I think it could be fantastic. And I'm hoping it is. I really am. So if this is the kind of game you enjoy, get out there, get involved with Foundation. It's early access, they're a small developer. Support someone, let them know that you're interested, and let's get some new developers out there, because the same few people are giving us the same few games over and over again. Thanks for watching. I've been Moogs. This was Foundation by Polymorph Games in Canada.